Yo, 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 what's good, guys? Welcome to another edition of the Altcoin Bosses, and in today's video we're going to be studying key coins that are making big moves and what we need to be mindful of when we do see these moves happen. Okay, do we take them as is? Do we just see it as a pump and dump, or is something actually happening behind the scenes that's going to prepare these coins to make bigger movements when everything else decides to make moves higher? Okay, when I talk about everything else, I'm making in reference to either Bitcoin, Ethereum, or when the flow of money starts coming in, because the coins that are making these sort of moves in the current circumstances, 9 times out of 10 could be news plays, all right? Or it could just simply be that they are putting money into certain altcoins beforehand with the anticipation that things are going to start to turn to the upside. So we're going to dive into a few altcoins that have shown this sort of behavior, and specifically speaking, Prom. All right, so if you are new to the channel, before I continue, there's a playlist in the channel itself called Altcoin Bosses, where we've actually had a look at previous altcoins that have shown interest at particular moving averages, showing certain bases, and we talk about how and what are the chances of them actually moving away to specific projected zones, so that we can then come back to those certain points and then ask ourselves the question, are they going to do it again? All right, so let's roll with it. So today, Prom. What can we expect from this coin right here? I mean, look, this may look like a little bit of a news play itself. Now, quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, I don't really look into news. Why? Because they would have absorbed the idea of the good news in a formation. Remember, market makers know about the coin's movements, or should I say the news, anticipated news, because they're the ones that are going to provide the liquidity for when things start to kick off. So they have to be prepared to get price filled at particular points when the retail trader steps in or an influx of orders comes in at a particular point. All right? Now, if we actually look at Prom itself, you can see that it's actually come away from a W formation right here. Patterns within patterns and cycles within cycles. You can see right here that we've got another smaller W formation within the bigger formation. How long does the W last for? That's the key thing about this strategy, ladies and gentlemen. The W lasts as long as they've been consolidating for. All right, so you can see this is quite a small W formation, didn't last that long, but it's still kept within the peak of that formation, and you can see that the green vector candle had been recovered down to the T right there, and they've shifted away with the stopping volume candle confirming that they were holding the range at this point. Now, with this second drop to the downside, you can see it has formed a bigger pattern, which solidifies a bigger move to the upside. So when they come away from this zone, they're going to be pushing away from this zone with aggression. All right, so that's something to keep an eye out on. Now, given that Prom itself has actually moved away from the moving averages, gone beyond the norm of what we expect it to do, every time this coin actually does that, it breaks away from the moving average and pulls straight back. Look at how the moving averages are all pointing downwards. And this move, or these common moves in Prom, tend to not really do anything to the moving averages. Okay, so a lot of the time it tends to be a pump and dump. So you've got to be very careful. They've got a history of doing this. Look. Pump up, straight back down, up, straight back down. Principally, they would be looking at trying to recover as many wicks as they can, because you can see right here that we've got a wick all the way over here that they nearly came back up towards. They recovered. They're on their way to recover the second wick right here. So if I mark off where price is right now, you can see that we've got this zone right here at the $19.76, and then you've got the one all the way up here at $24.24. So this is something to be mindful of when you're trying to gauge on how long as to whether you hold a coin or not. Have a look back and see where there is an imbalance in the chart where investors previously entered in and traded at that point. Right now, there are people that are stuck in drawdowns because they entered long when this happened up here with the wick. The same principle applies right here. Traders have stepped in long. Market maker has marked price to the upside, got his shorts filled at the highest possible point by utilizing the climax of retail traders getting excited about any news plays about this coin, and now they brought it all the way back down into the fray. They seem to have this common behavior, so it's good to look for an altcoin that shows this sort of behavior, because you know that every time they do come up, they're going to be bringing it back down, because it's the theme of the coin itself. Just look, every time it spikes up, it pulls back down. Spike up, pull back down. They seem to be doing this, and this is a classic example of them holding and containing the coin's value. All right, they are holding it in a certain range. They hold it in a certain way because they know that they're going to pump it up, induce the interest, and bring it back down. So that's why you're seeing this behavior to the upside. Okay. Now, how long is it going to hold back for? Well, it all depends on how strong this move is. Are they likely to bring it down lower in towards the 50 EMA? Maybe. Okay, they could even come all the way back down towards this green vector candle. So just be mindful of this coin. Prom, keep an eye out on it. XPR itself, nice, strong, shifting out of the zone behavior. Another classic example of a W formation coming into the zone. So look at this. You've got this bigger W formation, all right? And then you've got a smaller inverted head and shoulders, which is a variation of a W formation. And then you've also got another pattern within. So that is profiling and telling you that they are accumulating more longs than what they are building shorts, because they keep making hits to the low, but they don't allow it to go lower. But more importantly, they are not allowing price to finish lower every time they hit the lows. Look, you got the one low right here. This low finishes high, but there was not that much activity. But look at this. Hits to the low 1. Hits to the low 2. It's within this zone. Hits to the low 3. It's within this zone, and it's within this zone. Hits to the low 4 is within 1, 2, and 3. So there seems to be this repetitive behavior of them working the lows because they favor lower prices to get the shorts filled at a lower point for the retail trader, so that he can get his longs filled at the lowest point, so that he can come away from the zone and demonstrate what we understand to be a shifting out of the zone. Look at what's going on now with Proton. Look left. You can see recovery of the first wick right here. Bang. Recovered. My days. They've recovered most of this wick right here. Next wick will be up here, so we would anticipate a move up to this range also. All right. Now, we don't really see that many vector candles in the zone. You can see that we've got very low liquidity up here. So we may see a little bit of a resistance point with this coin. When things start to pull back from this coin, all right, if things start to pick up across the board, then we would anticipate a continuation back to the upside if this move has ground and precedence to continue higher. So this is something that you need to be mindful of. Fast moves that happen at the weekend are designed to take traders' stops out. All right, just be mindful of that. GRT, same story. What have we got? See, this one's actually trading lower as it proceeds to go down lower. It's not finishing higher. And now we've got a little shift out of the zone. Okay, so no cigars just yet for GRT, guys, because it's not really gaining that much ground. All right, and the pattern itself, it looks like it's an obscured big W formation, but there are patterns within patterns. I tread cautiously with GRT. There is a lot of liquidity for them to come back up towards, but I would proceed with caution on that basis. One, non-stop. Just look at the beauty of that. Slow trend is the true trend, ladies and gentlemen. You got the rise up, retrace, rise up, retrace, rise up, retrace. This is what you want to see. You want to see them bring away from the 50 EMA, revert back to the 50, continuation away from it. This is when the market maker is stepping in, trapping traders non-stop to buy the dip, rise up, hit the liquidations, rise up again. This is what you want to see in altcoins and even with Bitcoin and Ethereum. When you do see a big explosive move away from the zone, it's a false move, ladies and gentlemen. It's designed to get traders committed. Then they will retrace back down again. And it's at this point where they decide to continue higher, because that's when the true start of the trend continues, because they would have taken out all the liquidation points for the retail traders who entered long, used their liquidity to take on the shorts, and use their existing liquidity to build longs at lower prices, because there will be commitment by retail traders at that point, because they would feel that they missed out on the move to the upside and they want to try and step back in again, and then the market maker will release price to the upside, and that is where you would get the pattern. Okay, so that's all it is. It's all psychology, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about getting traders to commit in particular zones in the chart. All right, Zen seems to be doing very well to hold this range right here. Very well. This is what I want to see Bitcoin do. I want to see Bitcoin come back and recover as much of that wick as possible, and then move away from the range and then initiate a continuation to the upside. You can see that they're containing price, holding it, consolidating, controlling its movements. So 50 EMA flat, 200 EMA flat, 800 EMA all the way up there. No interest at that point just yet until it actually breaks above this range right here. Okay? So just be mindful of the way they are holding price given the current circumstances across the board. It looks like they're preparing to move higher with this, and there is a bag of liquidity up here for them to take. Yeah? Cool. SXP, what have we got here? Quite a bit choppy behavior, moving averages up and down, not really favoring this coin's price action itself. XLM, Stellar, same story. We'll start getting into heavyweight coins right now. Ava, what have we got? I mean, look, Ava's got a lot of spiky behavior, guys, so just be careful with it. No different to prom itself. Spike up, come back down. Spike up, come back down. Put this coin in with relation to prom itself and just pay attention to them, because they do like their pump and dumps. You can pretty much guarantee that every time they pump up so aggressively, they're going to be coming back. So you could take advantage of short trades every time you do witness a pump like this. Okay, Phantom itself, what we got? Phantom seems to be showing yeah, consolidated behavior, came back down towards the wick right here. So we're just seeing this tracky mad behavior right here, not liking Phantom at all. Axis has come straight back down considering where it was not so long ago, showing quite a lot of consolidation at this point, but there is a load of liquidity for them to come back down to. So that is really important. Look at that liquidity right there that they could come back and attack. Theta, same story. So you're starting to see the bigger picture on what's going on. Luna just seems to completely throw everyone off board. You can see what Luna's done is coming back up towards the last week's high right here and the previous week's high as well. So there is a lot of ground for Luna to take if it can break this range right here. Holding above the 5 and the 15 EMA for anyone that's in longs with Luna until they break below the 5 and the 13 EMA and close below that zone. Okay, there's no reason as to why you would need to come out of a trade that you are in with Luna. Okay, you want to wait for a clean break below and price to finish in this range right here for you to say, yeah, okay, fine, I'm going to close my trade. Now, that's not financial advice. That's just giving you a prompting on understanding when to realize a return based on using moving averages. That's my opinion. All right. I like to get out when the 5 and 13 EMA have been broken. And if you really want to stay in the trade, wait until the 5 and 13 EMA cross over. And that should be a point where you decide to get out, because you don't want to get caught out in leaving money on the table. As always, ladies and gentlemen, pay yourselves. Okay. Having a look at Bitcoin across the board, you can see what behavior they're getting up to, ladies and gentlemen. But the key thing for me is this. They've come up towards the 200 EMA on the 1 hour time frame, and they've come back down towards the daily open, tested it and moved away. But there's no strength just yet because they're still stuck at the 50. So just keep an eye out on Bitcoin. And more importantly, let's roll over to our lady Ethereum and let's see what she has to say for herself as well. Where we at? Here we go. Same story. Okay. No interest, still stuck in the psychological ranges. Well, these are the new psychological ranges for the week. All right, so we'll be going over those later on tonight. We need to keep an eye out on this area right here. Okay. All right, and guys, listen, mad love and respect for anyone that has passed through. Just a quick update on what's happened across the board with a few altcoins. I hope everyone is enjoying themselves, getting ready for the madness that we call Christmas. So mad love and respect to all of you. I will see you in tonight's live stream just before 10 p.m. Take care of yourselves. Peace.